Good afternoon. I'm Matthew Cary, the designated extrovert of the Carter Johnson Library and Collection, and today I'm going to be taking you on a tour with Mama Vi of the Carter Johnson Library and Collection. Let's go inside. And here we find Mama Vi in the Center for Sex and Culture.
I was wondering when you'd get here.
Now, I believe this would be Grandma Vi probably to most of you. But Mama, we're in Evansville. Shouldn't we be in Chicago?
No, the Carter Johnson, the library, the collection, and the Center for Sex and Culture are here in Indiana, or about a half a mile from the Ohio River.
Oh, that's okay. All right. Well, can you tell us a little bit about where we're at here?
Now, the library and the Center for Sex and Culture are two of the buildings of the Carter Johnson. Right now, you are in the Center for Sex and Culture. It is the area of the library that is more family and therapist friendly. As a matter of fact, it's easier to explain that as we're walking. So, let me show you around. Now, this building has a full kitchen. It has unlike its cousin or sister next door that doesn't. This one has a full kitchen because in this house, we allow scholars to stay so they can make their own meals, they can prepare food, and they can be here for up to a month. As a matter of fact, we have had scholars here for up to a month here. This is the Young Scholars Room. It's a little bit dormy, but it would allow a visiting scholar to be able to sleep, stay, and research in the library.
So I can stay here and work here.
Yes. And so far, the only room that has actually been named, this room has been named for Ephraim Gonzalez, an old friend and an incredible photographer. Ephraim has been photographing this tribe's history for almost 40 years. And he is honoring us by sending us a lot of his archive. Our gamers meet here. The local munch meets here.
So we've got live action role play and such going on here?
Oh yes, and I bought them a PlayStation and computer games and all sorts of things for the next generation so they get comfortable being in and with their history.
So it's like coming to Grandma's house.
Pretty much, if your grandmother's as kinky as a lamb's wool. But remember I had said it's one of two buildings. Well, that's not entirely accurate.
Mama?
And
Mama? What's going on here?
I was younger then. I was checking some photographs. Young man. I say the library exists in two buildings, which is both true and not exactly. So let me see if I can explain this. Right next door to the library is the home of Katerina DeLocke and her partner Sebastian. But Katerina is the librarian for the Center for Sex and Culture. If you look down the street, right across the street, are our cousins, the Collins. The home with the mural belongs to Boy Robbie. The house next to Boy Robbie belongs to Jack.
The big blue house?
The big blue house. And a house that the family is fixing up across the street that we managed to get back from the local drug dealers will be for someone else who needs a home, who wants to be a part of the library family. But now, let me take you into the library.
So this building is the Carter Johnson Library.
Yes. This is the building that is over 21. And that'll make sense in just a minute.
So this is NSFW.
Yeah. The first room here is dedicated to a woman that was like a sister to me. As a matter of fact, it's jokingly called my sister's reading room. This is the room where you would find some of our dissertations, where you would find a lot of the serialized novels, where you would find our more modern writers, Bob Rubel, Pat Cliffield, Laura Antonou, a lot of our photographers, Tashin's work. This is the fun reading part. We have a lot in different languages for the next generation. So we have manga. We have yaoi. If the kids are reading it, we're going to find it. Now remember I had said that this building didn't have a kitchen. Let me show you why. This is actually our media room. Since we have a kitchen next door, this is a place where we can get about 15 people to show videos. Right now, Robbie has the Bootblack exhibit up because some Bootblacks were coming to visit us. So we can work in here, show films in here. As you can see from some of the stacks, we not only keep 8 tracks and we have more next door, we also keep about 400 DVDs that anyone can come in and watch. Moving down the hall,
Which is a most interesting hallway.
there's a lot hung in this hallway, I will say that to you.
Is this the restroom?
Yes indeed, you gotta go
Okay.
sometime.
What a fantastic shower curtain.
Now this is our magazine room and our basic work room. This room is dedicated to a man that I called Daddy, and that was Dr. Anthony Frank DeBlas. You all would know him as Tony DeBlas. In this room, we have a lot of magazine collections, and as you can see, we're still sorting more. Full runs of the Leather Journal, Queer, Drummer, International Leatherman, Bondage, but these are the older ones. We can go back farther than that to full runs of magazines from the 40s, even the 30s.
A lot of titles here y'all might recognize.
Next up, this room is a little bit of a dual purpose. It houses a lot of our programs and a lot of the old newspapers. Yes, that is how we communicated before Google and email and so on. But it also houses the library's art collection. And when I say art, that includes photographs, posters, banners, as well as art of a lot of different artists. Ray Castro, Bob Neroni, Danielle.
What is this?
Now that is the Females Investigating Sexual Terrain, Fist.
Right. There's a lot in this room, folks. I'm trying to give you. Now this is a Miss World painting, correct? Ray
Yes.
Castro.
That is a Ray Castro, not just of the first Ms. World, who is kneeling and lifting the spirit of her partner. It's also a picture of her partner, who is an Imsel. That was Joe Blas. Another portrait of Joe, actually.
Beautiful.
Sir Robert Davis on this wall. We have a tremendous collection of bar posters from an exhibit that we are eternally trying to put together called The Places Where We've Come From. And then last but not least, the place where you are most likely to find me falling asleep in a chair with a cup of tea. This is the Nathan Head Rare Book Room. It is a little stuffy, a little old, a whole lot comfy, and meant to kind of mimic, a late 1800s, early 1900s library. Now this is the place where you would find either a numbered tome, a book, say, that would be number 121 of 500, or books from the late 1800s that are so fragile we keep them in cases, or books from the old publishing companies from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. All of that is kept in this room. While we chase paper from all over the world and at every age, this is the stuff we're fighting the hardest to find and preserve for the tribe, because while if somebody took out a copy of Doing It for Daddy, it's wrong. But if someone took out a copy of, say, the 1956 first edition of The Story of O, that would be worse. And books like that, once gone, cannot be replaced. So, welcome to the library's Rare Book Room, and welcome to the library.